Hello, good morning again from the glorious North Pennines. We're here today this morning up on Ettersgill, which is halfway up the Upper Tees Valley. We're sort of on the way towards High Force, and Low Force is sort of down in the river there. We can look down towards Middleton and Teesdale and back towards my home further down the valley. Today we're in search of another trig point. We're going to be wandering up the hill up this way somewhere. So we'll go over to the time lapse again in a second and we'll start walking up. Do have Mr. Henry with me again today. Henry, come say hello. No, he wants to see what else is going on. We'll see in a bit.
Father told me, don't you be so smart, just find a boy that you like. You try not to break your heart, to have no sorrow. You can't go wrong taking words of advice from an old love song.
So we've just walked through a field of young lambs with their mothers there. You might have seen that they got a little bit interested in Henry. He's actually very good around sheep, but obviously we need to keep him very tight because the sheep don't necessarily know that. Just giving you a little bit of a view again. See, we're climbing up a bit here now. It's a gorgeous day up here today. Hope the weather holds like this. It's a little bit cloudy over the very tops of the hills. Some of the farmhouses, we're quite high up here. They look lovely in a weather like this, but imagine in the middle of the winter, it must be a little bit different up here. You can see I've let Henry off for a little bit here. This is quite a nice little open field you can run around in. We're due now to start climbing up the hill up there. Henry's already thinking about making his way up there. But this little ridge up in front here looks quite interesting. It has some caves marked on the map, so I'm going to take a little detour, have a quick look at that, and then work our way back up the hill. Okay, we've almost made it to the top of the track that goes up the hill. You can see we seem to have come up to a bit of quarrying. There's an old bit of a building here. Something up the top up there, I'm going to go and look at those in a minute. I'm not sure if that's the remains of a building or if it's just someone's put a bunch of piles of stones there. I suspect it's the latter, but you never know. Well, we're up here. The answer appears to be they are just some randomly placed piles of stone. Someone's done some bloody good work to put those up there. No discernible reason. All the better for it. So again, we're looking down the valley here. Let's do some pointing. So this is the main bit of sort of Upper Teesdale Valley, which is going down there. You've got Middleton and Teesdale is down in the valley, sort of in that way, and coming along up to Holwick. So Big Moss that we walked up is one of the hills over that way. And then as you come across, we come up towards Langdon Beck area, which is the sort of the general village, the sort of the bunch of houses that are down here. We have Cronkley Fell, this little Cronkley Scar. We have Cowgreen Reservoir that you can just see over there, with again some other hills that I can't remember the names of behind me. And you can just see the radar station on top of one of the three biggest hills over there. That's Great Dunfell. And immediately to the right of it is Little Dunfell. And then the tallest hill at the very top there is Crossfell.
Well, it's just boring me. Ouch, this is what they want about. You sabotage yourself. yourself, then it hurts some, then it hurts some. You shout your only way to vocalize and judge me by your own standards. Just do your song. So you think you're the monopoly, lacking all responsibility. Well, probably. So while I think you win and won the race for this millennium's worst mistake, I'll hesitate to say this to your.
Well, here we are on Fendrith Hill, up at the Trig Point here. Henry's done a good job of making it up here. Again, fantastic views. Not only Teesdale here, but we're now at the top here. You can see looking down over into Weardale, over this way. That there somewhere is towards Chapel Fell. Some of the highest road passes in England are up there. Again, you might see it in this, but the air traffic control tower at Great Dun Fell is really shining up in the light here now. You can see a bit more of Calgreen Lake down here, and you can see the Tees winding its way down at the bottom of Cronky Fell. He's found himself something to stink in again, and he's definitely going to be getting a shower when we get back. From now on, we're going to be pretty much following the fence line along here to get down to a road, and then we'll be joining another footpath, the Pennine Journey. Not the Pennine Way, it's a slightly different footpath. I'll tell you a bit more about that when we get onto it.
Stop arguing with yourself, let it hurt some, let it hurt some.
Haven't you heard? I'm the crazy bitch around here.
Always fun when you're walking up across the hills and you come up to one of these fence lines. There's no gates along here, so we'll probably just have to find a way through it. I shall squeeze some wires open. It looks like a pretty easy one that I can squeeze some wires open and let Henry through and get out, but we're not going to jump through that one. I'm going to jump through this one instead, because we've got something that we can show you the other side, and it doesn't really matter which side of the fence we're on from this point. So we've now made it up to one of the North Pennines' lesser well-known attractions. Believe it or not, this is actually the North Pennines Ski Centre. There is this permanent ski lift that runs up the hill here, and what looks like the start of some of the ski runs just in front of us there. I've never been up here before. I was aware they were here, but I've never actually seen them, so I'm just going to go and have a wander and look at the top of the ski slopes. But it's pretty cool that you can, if the weather is right, go skiing up here. All year round resort. Well, I don't really know anything about skiing, but we definitely what looks to be at the top of some of the ski runs here. We've got, I assume this is Run C. There are some other numbers here. I guess they're some sort of indicator as to where you are on the hill. See, it looks like another couple of runs that head off down in that direction. Looks like you can probably go quite steeply once you're over the top here. Go down to the bottom and then come back up. Pretty cool. So if you find yourself in the North Pennines on a snowy day, why not come up here and give it a go.
Chip on your shoulder, so if the story you're familiar, have no regrets cause they will kill ya. All your friends no consolation, put yourself into a no-win situation. You're out of luck, couldn't make the cut, couldn't make it up, you know you're gonna get a little bit older.
You can probably just make out in front there the line of a road coming across the hill. That's the road from Newbiggin down to Westgate. That's where we're heading to before we start heading back down the hill back into Teesdale. Okay, we've made it back to the road. This is the road that goes from Newbiggin down to Weardale towards Westgate. This is the road that I quite often cycle up called Newbiggin Common. We're at the summit of that particular climb. We're now going to be dropping back down following the Pennine Journey path. You've probably heard of the Pennine Way. The Pennine Journey is a similar route but varies slightly. When Wainwright did his first walk, it's actually a little bit different to what became the Pennine Way, so there's an alternative track that tries to follow it a little bit more closely, which is called the Pennine Journey, and that should drop us down pretty much straight back to the car. However, although it is an official footpath, trying to follow it is probably not going to be that easy. It's not going to be any less boggy. We've got pretty wet feet between the two of us here now. I think it's probably following this little sort of track down here, but we're going to be pretty much looking at the map as we go along to see if we're deviating off of it in places, I should imagine.
Love will tear us apart again. Love will tear us apart again. Why is the bedroom so cold? You've turned away on your side. Is my timing that flawed? Our respect runs so dry, yet there's still this appeal.
Okay, we've done the first part across here along the Pennine Journey path. If it is following Wainwright's footsteps, I think it's pretty much just him. There's not many other people we've been following. This is another great advert for the OS Maps app, because we've previously downloaded this route, so the maps are all available on my phone, and the combination of the GPS locator against the maps shows me which direction I should be heading in some cases where it's really not clear. You get occasional glimpses like you might just make out in front here. There appears to be a little bit of a path just sort of coming up this side of Longley Syke, but the other side you can't see anything. We've been sort of scrambling around a bit in places, following some what appear to be some paths in some bits, but not necessarily the right way. So we're going to carry on, combination of trial and error and the OS map, and heading on in that direction for a bit more. Wish us luck.
Just can't function no more. But love will tear us apart again. Love will tear us apart again. Love will tear us apart again. Love will tear us apart again.
Hey Henry. Well, that's us. It's almost back. There's the car in front of us here now. Hope you've enjoyed that walk. It's been quite pleasant, very boggy in places. Some of those bits across the hill there weren't so easy to follow. But we're all back. Henry's had a nice time, I think. I've certainly enjoyed it. been the pleasure of going out for a walk, and I hope you've enjoyed sharing it with me. See you again back here in the North Pennines at some point soon.